Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Golden Opportunities Coaching and Pro Wrestling Logic YouTube channels. Raw for the 10th of May, 2021. Ultimately, not a good show, not a good lead up to the network preview on Sunday. Anyway, so the show kicks off with fireworks for the first time in quite a bit. Announcers plug Lashley and McIntyre. In a world that's post-pandemic, in a world where people don't know where food or their jobs are coming from, we need fireworks because we're really an in-touch company, and I don't want to hear that it adds to entertainment. Fireworks have never drawn a dime. Anyway, so 6-woman tag team match: Asuka, Mandy Rose, Dana Brooke defeat Charlotte Flair, Nia Jackson, Shayna Baszler in 8 minutes 40 seconds. Rose and Baszler, Rose and Brooks have new music, and nobody cares. We're less than 90 seconds in the match when all 6 women get in the ring. They begin to argue. Alexa Bliss comes out. She's on the stage with Lily and the swing set. Bliss says she wants to keep an eye on someone. We go to commercial because we don't know how to book commercials. Heels are in control after a break. Bliss continues to watch on. Baszler has her leg give out, and she has trouble getting to the corner for tag. I guess we're supposed to believe that Bliss has done some black magic. Asuka hits a Shining Wizard and hits Baszler and gets the win. Charlotte lays out Asuka post-match with a boot. The rest of the women stare at Bliss as she and her puppet have a good, fun time. Jeff Hardy against Jinder Mahal tonight, even though we don't necessarily know that Jinder is back in the company until a moment ago. Then we see Riddle with the New Day in the back. Let them know that he's officially registered himself as Randy Orton's tag team partner. Kingston is delighted to hear this and calls them a real team, unlike AJ and Omos. Riddle recalls how funny it was to see Orton get doused with tomatoes last week. Tombstones? That would be even better because it might mean death to the gimmick. Anyway, Orton standing behind him. Kingston admits he thought it's pretty funny. Woods and Riddle thought so too. Orton tells Riddle that things he found funny were ending careers, kicking people in the head, and setting things on fire. So he's basically sociopathic. MVP approaches Braun Strowman in his locker room. Strowman tells him to get out. MVP reminded him that McIntyre cost him the match last week, and Lashley even admitted that. Strowman almost beat him. MVP tells him that McIntyre has already had an opportunity. Basically tried to convince him to take out McIntyre before Sunday hits. Damian Priest versus The Miz is announced for Backlash, and absolutely 2.3 people cared. Pierce, Priest, Miz, and Morrison had a meeting in the back. Morrison says that he would have beaten Priest last week if not for interference. He mentioned the Miz, tells him he could see him. Priest had a proposition. Whoever won Priest versus Morrison rematch tonight could pick a stipulation for Priest and Miz on Sunday. Miz is about to decline. Morrison accepts. Jinder Mahal cuts a promo in the back. He says he's happy to be back but wasn't coming back alone. He introduces Veer and Sharky. Jinder Mahal wins over Jeff Hardy in 3 and a quarter minutes or so. Oh, actually, almost 3.5. Jinder Mahal shaved his head. He blocks Twist of Fate, hits a knee strike, and gets a win. Hardy is basically seen as an afterthought because, well, he's almost 45 and flatter than a pancake. Anyway, they show Sonya Deville meeting with Charlotte. Now in regular clothing attire in the back, Elias and Jackson Riker had tomatoes, and they devised a plan to get back at the New Day. Styles and Orton approached them. Styles, sporting a goatee, wondered what the heck they were doing. Elias was about to perform a song, but Styles cut him off. Styles liked the music, but suggested that they take the match just a little more seriously. Almost crushed a tomato with his hand and said that he would do that to their opponents tonight. Another throwaway match as we enter the second hour. 8-man tag. Riddle, Orton, Kingston, and Xavier Woods defeat Elias, Riker, and AJ Styles and Omos in just over 12 minutes. Elias starts but Omos enters. When he gets in trouble, easily taking down Riddle and Kingston, he stares down Orton, and they go to break less than 2 minutes into the match. Elias is in control after the break. Omos and Orton are nowhere to be found when we return. Woods tags in. New Day double team Styles. Woods fights off Elias, and Styles slams him and tag Riker. Then they work over Woods for a little bit until finally they tag to Riddle, which according to Adnan Vink is a pretty big deal. Riddle gives Elias a bro Derek, almost breaks it up. Orton blind tagged as Riddle came out on top, but almost swatted him out of the air, or kind of. It didn't really look that good, but that was the attempt anyway. Styles is down outside the ring. New Day spins him around, and this causes Omos to leave the ring and march towards them. Orton gives Elias an RKO for the pinfall win. Kingston seems momentarily happy to be Orton's partner. Orton lays out Woods and Kingston with RKOs. Riddle tells him they'll never make friends act that way, and Orton leaves. And DeVille meets with Asuka and Rhea Ripley in the back. She said she's certain of an idea and decided to put them in a singles match tonight. Ripley figured out this was Charlotte's idea and wasn't happy about it. DeVille deflected to Asuka and said she's already competed tonight and she's happy to go again because she's ready for Ripley. Ripley said she's happy to beat Asuka again, and this just proves that we don't have any long-term planning. Elsewhere, Kevin Patrick asked Lashley what he planned on proving tonight. MVP was offended, and Lashley said he'd beat Strowman and he'd beat McIntyre again. Patrick asked about reports that MVP offered Strowman a proposition in exchange that aired on live TV. MVP blows him off. Sheamus cuts promo mocking the U.S. champions in the past who offered open challenges and said you'd have to earn opportunities. He also made a crack about Verk being out of his element on commentary. He said that Carrillo would try to earn an opportunity tonight, but instead get a bro kick to the back. Anyway, Carrillo tries a baseball slide. Sheamus catches him, yanks him out of the ring, and sends him over the barricade. 90 seconds into the match is when we get all this. Sheamus is in full control. Carrillo brings him down with a Rana. Carrillo follows up with a sunset powerbomb on the outside. Sheamus lands on top of him. Ouch. Carrillo appears to be hurt, and the referee calls the match, checks on him. Sheamus is the winner, and medical staff check on Carrillo. Apparently, he is legitimately hurt, and that's why useless spots that don't need to be done in every match shouldn't be done that way. Anyway, video package for Lucha House Party. So apparently, we're going to try and bring them back and give them the push for the 87th time. They air an Eva Marie video from last week. wasn't any better the second time. Shelton Benjamin defeats Cedric Alexander in just under 4.5 minutes. They both wear their Hurt Business gear. Alexander puts Benjamin's legs in the rope and tries to put on a heel hook. Benjamin counters with a sharpshooter. Alexander gets a rope break before coming back with a low drop kick. Alexander hits a suicide dive. Benjamin counters with a lifting knee strike. Alexander responds with a neutralizer. Alexander dares Benjamin to get up, catches him with a T-bone suplex for the win. It was fine, but too short. They air a replay of Angel Garza kicking a rose into Drew Gulak's butt from last week. And then Garza is doing a photo shoot in the back. He's confronted by Gulak, who's angry about the whole rose incident, and Garza has in fact embarrassed and humiliated him. Garza didn't seem to care. He threatened to shove it down his throat next time. Women's champion Rhea Ripley defeats Asuka in a non-title match, 12:36. Ripley is 24 years old, according to a fact on the screen. Gained control early until Charlotte's music hit, and Charlotte comes out with distraction. And that leads to Asuka hitting a back fist, leading us into the third hour. We come back from commercial. Charlotte's on commentary. Ripley regains control over Asuka. Asuka comes back with a sliding knee on the apron, and Ripley sends Asuka to the outside of the ring and goes face to face with Charlotte. Ripley attacks Asuka from behind and hits a Northern Light suplex in the ring for near fall. Asuka counters a Riptide into a codebreaker for near fall. Ripley rolls outside and decides to confront Charlotte. Asuka hits a hip attack onto the announce table and follows with a missile drop kick back in the ring for a near fall. Ripley comes right back with a kick to the head and the Riptide for the pinfall win. Ripley poses with the belt. Charlotte applauds. Then we go to McIntyre telling Patrick that he wasn't planning on getting involved in the main event last week until Strowman puts his disgusting hands on him. It wasn't his fault. Strowman gets speared, but it was his fault that they both got laid out by the Claymore. McIntyre admits that he was toast if Strowman and Lashley teamed up on him, which makes him look really weak as a babyface. McIntyre planned on connecting with the Claymore at Backlash and once again becoming champion. Well, look who won the pony. Damian Priest defeats John Morrison with The Miz at just under 13 minutes. Yes, 13 minutes of guys that don't belong in the ring. It's heavy on wrestling tonight, actually. Anyway, Morrison catches Priest in the face with a knee strike, and Morrison makes sure he's okay. Ref also checks on him. Miz pulls Morrison outside of the ring to help him regroup. Priest sends him back in, and then they go to commercial. Morrison takes control after Miz attacks Priest with the ref distracted. Priest comes back with a bell clap, spinning heel kick, and some strikes, and a broken arrow for near fall. Priest uses a spinning kick off the top for near fall as well. Morrison gets a near fall with a roll up, and Priest kicked him in the leg pretty hard. Priest set up to hit the lights. Miz distracts the ref. Morrison counters into a crucifix pin. Ref is still distracted by Miz. Ref turns around and countered, but Priest kicked out. Priest follows to hit the lights for the pinfall win. Miz attacks Priest post-match. Priest blocks the skull-crushing finale. Miz runs away from the ring, runs up the ramp before Priest could attack him. Priest gives Morrison another hit the lights. McIntyre and Lashley were each shown warming up backstage. Strowman appears. And then we've got another new Eva Marie video. She sees herself as a super role model, taking off on Britt Baker to a degree. Anyway, Priest tells Pierce he wanted a lumberjack match against Miz. Pierce wants to know why. Priest didn't want Miz to have anyone to run in and encourage him. Pierce uses wrestlers from Raw and SmackDown. Pierce agrees to the stipulation. Announcers run down the Backlash card that absolutely no one cares about. Drew McIntyre defeats Bobby Lashley with MVP via DQ in a non-title match in just under 13 and a half minutes. Like I said, strong on wrestling. They fight back and forth. Overhead suplexes by McIntyre on the outside. Lashley hits flatliner for a near fall. McIntyre hits a couple of suplexes, and Lashley knocks McIntyre off the apron. Lashley goes for a spear. McIntyre sends him into the buckle back on the inside. And then McIntyre hits a bunch of suplexes, a neckbreaker, and a headbutt. And then a spinebuster for a near fall. Lots of spots just to get a 2 count. Anyway, McIntyre hits a Claymore kick. Lashley knocks him down with a running body block. Lashley then applies the Hurt Lock. McIntyre did his best to block it. Lashley suplexes him again. McIntyre comes back with a Claymore kick. Strowman's music hits, so McIntyre turns attention to the stage. Strowman grabs him from behind, lays him out with a power slam. Strowman helps Lashley to his feet, lays him out with a power slam too. Strowman gives McIntyre a second power slam before slamming Lashley through the barricade. Strowman gives McIntyre one more power slam, stand tall as the show ends. Wow, just wow. This is supposed to make us want to watch the pay-per-view or the network preview, as it were. Anyway, we'll be back with actual wrestling, WCW Saturday Night reviews, and maybe some Superstars of Wrestling stuff. Till then, keep your feet on the ground, your mind in the moment.